Now at 6, we have an update to yesterday's breaking news of a car driving into the Willamette River. Police say 2 people who were in the car died and 1 is still missing. A closer look at their recovery efforts coming up in a live report.
And the city of Portland now has plans on what to do with some of the $106 million in unspent housing funds. How the city plans to allocate the money to housing resources ahead. Plus.
And it's over! Hail to the champions! Hail to Michigan!
Gross. After a nail-biting game, Michigan has won it all, taking home their first NCAA basketball championship in over 3 decades. That story coming up as your News at Sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Tuesday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. I feel like our producers are just trolling me at this point.
I think you just need to get over it.
No, I will not. Not until Ohio State wins one, Rod.
Listen, all I have to say is you boys are lucky UNLV wasn't there.
That's, yeah.
You are firmly in duck and beaver country here, buddy. No sympathy.
I know.
Yeah, and I can talk about UNLV because it's like never in the realm of competition, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Go Rebels.
Who are they? Rebel. Oh, that's UNLV. Rebels? Is that what they call them?
Yes, Rod.
How those Tigers doing?
Rebels.
University of Missouri. We have a basketball program technically.
Technically.
I don't think we've really started
Is it
assembling.
NCAA
They do have their own uniforms.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we do. All right. Big Ten does it again, though. Another championship. We have mostly clear skies being reported over Salem. 44 is your temperature this morning. We are all dry, no weather-related issues anywhere. We have partly cloudy skies looking, this is looking south across the Columbia from the Vancouver, the Springs at the Waterfront location. 45 is the temperature there. To the bus stop we go. We'll go generally mid-40s out the door. Sun up this morning, 6:39. It will not be as warm today, but still really nice. But, you know, you'll definitely want a jacket, I think, for the morning hours. And it'll only be mid-50s at noon, outdoor recess. Kids get out of school today, be about 62. I think we'll eventually warm into the mid-60s. Here's Chris.
Hey, Rod, thanks for that. Heads up in Clark County a bit later on this morning. The Battleground exit 11, SR2, SR502 eastbound. That's going to be closed for about 4 hours for some guardrail repair and tree trimming. And through the heart of Camas here, SR503 down to 1 alternating lane here for the next 10 days from 8 to 3 as WashDOT and crews do some utility work there. So obviously that'll create some delays. For right now, your freeway drive is off to a good start here. There's I-5 through the 217 interchange in Tigard, traffic zipping right along. And right now we've got a speed limit clip out there, guys. No unexpected freeway delays just yet.
Sounds good, Chris. Thank you. Well, this morning we're learning more information about a car that drove through Waterfront Park and into the Willamette River yesterday. 2 people are dead, another is missing, and a 4th was rescued.
Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live from the waterfront. So Thomas, what else do we know here?
Hey guys, we know that those 4 people were between the ages of 17 and 20 years old. Yesterday, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office had rescue crews and divers actually pulled out 2 of the bodies of the people in that vehicle. Those rescue efforts, or recovery efforts is what they turned out to be, went on all morning long. Meanwhile, family members of those involved gathered and watched and really just comforted each other because that's the most they could do. Some were crying, many were, some couldn't bear to watch. Now, Portland police tells us this all started around 2 o'clock in the morning on Monday. An officer turned on his lights and tried to conduct a traffic stop for reckless driving. Instead, the sedan accelerated eastbound on Southwest Harvey Milk, then crossed Nadeau Parkway and went through the waterfront before plunging into the Willamette River.
The officer arrived shortly thereafter and got up to the seawall, looked down into the river and observed 1 survivor swimming.
In the daylight, 2 Multnomah County patrol boats searched the area of the crash for hours, eventually recovering 2 bodies. Throughout the search, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says they dealt with challenges like debris and fast-moving water. They say a 3rd person is missing, who they presume to be dead. Police have not released the names of the people involved yet. And for hours yesterday, we watched as those recovery crews worked, bringing up 2 of the bodies and looking through the crash scene behind us in the water for other debris and parts of this investigation. We also saw them bring the lines of a tow truck and seeming to at least pull the car at least a little bit through the water, presumably making it easier to tow out at some point in time.
Speaking of that, Thomas, any idea when the car will be pulled out of the river?
Yeah, Matthew, that's still unclear according to officials. And bear in mind, look, I mean, this is a seawall which is more than 30 feet tall. The Willamette River itself can go down about 45 feet. So this is no small task to pull this car out of the river. Guys.
Our Thomas Schultz reporting live this morning. Thank you, Thomas. Meantime, Portland police arrested multiple people and seized vehicles and guns after an illegal street takeover Saturday. Officers say they got reports of hundreds of people at two locations in North Portland, one at North Whitaker Road and Delta Park and Northeast 33rd and Broadway. Crowds took over intersections as drivers performed stunts. Police say a driver hit a pedestrian during a stunt, and they found another person who had been assaulted and severely hurt. In total, officers seized 8 cars and issued 8 tickets.
Meanwhile, a Northeast Portland business is dealing with some serious fire damage. Portland Fire says the flames broke out just after 2 p.m. Monday in a service truck. The fire then spread to the building nearby at Northeast Airport Way. Crews say they had to cut through the roof to fight the fire. Nobody was hurt. The cause is still under investigation.
So you may remember the roughly $106 million in unspent money discovered in Portland's Housing Bureau last year. Well, now 4 city councilors have come up with a plan on how to spend about half of it.
Yeah, the other half of that money has rules around what it can and can't be used for. The ordinance is called Keeping Portlanders Housed. Now, it would redirect $56 million towards preventing homelessness through things like rent assistance and eviction prevention. City Councilor Candace Avalos is among those leading the effort.
We're really excited to finally produce something that we believe will keep people housed, keep Portlanders housed in a variety of ways. But if you don't have ways for people to get into affordable housing, then you're just warehousing people. So it's important that we are funding the entire ecosystem.
The proposal puts nearly $11 million towards rent assistance, while also putting $10 million towards social housing, which is basically public housing owned by the city. It would also send $4 million to the general fund.
Really, our approach to this is the whole upstream to downstream, right? Upstream is that rental assistance, eviction prevention. Midstream is getting people into housing. It's the affordable housing stabilization. Downstream, getting them out of shelter, and then investing in the future, which is future buildings.
The plan is far from a done deal. It will be discussed in a committee today and could face some scrutiny if or when it makes it on the full council agenda.
We have to stand up to the bully. The only language a bully understands is confronting them head on.
The city of Portland is considering a new rule that would cap how much companies like Uber and Lyft can take from each ride. The goal here is to make it so drivers keep a higher percentage of the fee that riders pay.
I think it's high time that we actually step in and reevaluate the cost share and the city's role in regulating when we have an industry where the pay that drivers are ending up with at the end of the day really isn't covering, as I understand it, their cost of doing business.
In a statement to KGW, a spokesperson for Uber said if the plan passes, the company would be forced to leave Portland, adding that the city already implements high fees and expensive regulations. A coalition called We Pay for Portland, which includes sports teams and arts venues, came out against the idea, saying that it could reduce access to reliable rides for events. As of now, there's no date for when this ordinance will be heard again. Meantime, Multnomah County is launching a free roll of shopping shuttles to help people in Corbett and Sauvie Island reach neighboring communities to go shopping. There's a couple of options here. For residents in Corbett, on the first Friday of the month, the shuttles will run from Corbett to Wood Village, including the Walmart and Fred Meyer there. Then on the third Wednesday of the month, they'll go from Corbett to Gresham Safeway and Home Depot. And folks in Sauvie Island, the shuttle will run from Sauvie Island to the Scappoose Fred Meyer on the first Wednesday of the month. Then from Sauvie Island to St. John's on the third Wednesday of the month. Each shuttle will have room for people using mobility devices, so you'll need to call ahead to secure your seat.
Well, it's new, so we got a report on it. But for the first time in 37 years, the University of Michigan's men's basketball team claimed the national championship. The Wolverines beat the UConn Huskies 69-63 in the championship game. Elliot Cadeau led Michigan with 19 points and won the title of most outstanding player in the Final Four. Michigan finishes the season with a 37-3 record.
I think they were saying it was like the first time in 30-something years that they've won, and if UConn would have won, it would have been their third championship in 4 years. So I'm all for the underdog.
Yeah, so
I can't call Michigan an underdog, but I understand what you're saying.
Big Ten's first national championship in basketball since 2000. So.
And 37 years, was that the Fab Five?
That was Fab Five, yep.
That's how, I can't believe that was 37 years ago.
I wasn't even born. Well, yeah, I was. I was 2.
We're going to work on his math while you do weather.
Yeah.
That was,
whoops.
That was old enough to remember. All right, here's a look at our Seaside live camera. We are reporting on mostly cloudy skies along the coast, and you can see that here with our live camera up in Seaside. It's 44 degrees, no wind being reported. We have kind of a mixed bag of partly cloudy to mostly clear skies as you move into the valley. This shows some clouds over the city and up into the West Hills right now. 47 is the early morning number. We have seen that cooler air mass shift inland overnight, so this will not be as warm of a day. 45 in Wilsonville, certainly no issues with the temperature this morning, just a typical morning chill to the air. It is 40 in Dallas, 41 up in McMinnville. The afternoon map is all dry. And again, partly to mostly sunny skies, depending on your location. Well up into the 60s, still out east, and nipping 70 perhaps in Bend and Madras. The Dalles, you folks currently have northwest winds blowing to about 20. This shows you 65 this afternoon. Similar temperatures to the low to mid numbers in the 60s that we expect up and down I-5. So Portland, remember, we hit 79 again yesterday, which again was a record. We've hit 79 the last 2 days. So today's 64. So big drop off in temperature, but 64 is pretty much considered normal for this time of the year. 60s tomorrow, 70s again on Thursday. We begin shower threats on Friday. That may or may not happen, but certainly I expect some rain in the area on Saturday, and it looks Sunday could be potentially pretty wet, and that is your forecast update.